what is taking the intro so long? There we go. Did it freeze for you guys? Like, I was like, okay,
really
good.
weird.
All right. Well, welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast where we're just doing it live. So here we go. Crawler, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you. It's I just saw Sonic in the Nintendo Switch online landing page, so it reminded me that Sonic Superstars will probably be on sale tomorrow.
I think it is on sale somewhere.
A game that's 2 weeks or 3 weeks old, or no, it came out the same week as Wonder, right?
Same week as
it's
Wonder.
It's a month old, and it's already time for it to be on sale. You know,
I think they increased the price of Wonder for Black Friday.
They probably did. Johnny, what's going on?
What's up? I got some platinum points.
You crackhead.
So
I'm downloading Fate Farm 2 just to get the 100. But
you guys are wild. Cheesy, how's it going?
What's going on, cheese curds?
Are you getting platinum points too?
No, I don't care. I mean, I can go in and buy those icons. Those icons are just going to stay in the same place. Nobody.
He's a loser.
No, the only cool one is the one that you and Crawler have, which is the Nintendo Live like badge that you guys have because you went to Nintendo Live. Like that's everyone should change their icon to that if they have it.
It's exclusive.
Exactly.
Everybody tell Cheesy that he's boring.
Johnny, you have all these things, and I guess you changed it to Mario RPG this week.
I changed it like whenever a new game comes out, I usually change it. Like I had Mario Wonder one for a while. I had Tears of the Kingdom for a while. I think it's fun. Everybody wants customization. Like, oh, we want themes. And I guarantee if we get themes on the Switch too, Cheesy's just gonna have it on the white theme the whole time anyway.
No, I would have it on like a Splatoon theme or like a Metroid theme, and then that probably just leave it alone. Like
those are fighting words to say he's leaving it on white theme. Like at least give him credit to put it on dark.
Thank you.
We are starting off hot. Like
you just don't want to burn your retinas on the OLED when you're in bed. Like
speaking of hot, we're looking at the gameplay of Super Mario RPG in the lava level. So subscribe on YouTube and you can understand what we're looking at.
There you go. Crawler said burn your retinas out on the OLED. My Switch Lite has turned into just the watermelon game machine. Okay. I just had to fly back from Miami. All I wanted to do was play watermelon game. I forgot to start.
You didn't download it onto your main Switch?
Well, my main Switch is still my Lite that stays right next to my bed. And so I forgot to like hotspot before the plane took off. So I had to spend $9 to be able just to play watermelon game.
Was it worth it?
I beat my high score.
There you go.
By 3 points. So I'm now
have you gotten to 3,000 points yet?
4,017 or something like that, and I was 4,013.
You've gotten to 4,000?
Did you see the sales numbers?
What are they
for watermelon?
For watermelon, 4 million copies on the Switch.
For what, $3 a pop?
It outsold Pikmin 4.
Is that $3 a pop? Is that what that game costs?
Yeah, it's $3. Yeah.
So they're making about 39 cents per sale. And no, my high score is like 20. I think I went from 25-13 to 25-16.
Okay, I was gonna say like cool. 4,000. I was like, that's you're flirting with 2 watermelons at that point.
Yeah, you got to get them. Got to get the 2 watermelons and watch them disappear, and then you just start over. It's great. Good times. So
it's Kirby all over again.
Oh my gosh. So before we jump into this, I want to let everybody know that my merch is on sale by going to n64josh.com/store, and you can use coupon code BlueShell. So if you want to pick up any of the merch, whether it be a t-shirt, there's NPC stuff, N64Josh stuff, there's whoever threw that shell, your mom's a what.
Is this on there?
Like my book. My book is still like go to Audible and get the book for free at n64josh.com.
I got the OG copy though, the copyrighted.
That you got Toad on there. I took it off because I was like, well, if this blows up, I don't want to have to give all that money back to Nintendo. So Toad left the cover. It's just black now, but maybe I'll make a sticker or something that I'll just send out for free that people can put on the cover. So, and then the energy chews, guys, if you go to oneshotenergy.com and use coupon code N64Josh, you get a 30% discount right now instead of a 10% discount. So that's for Black Friday. Before we jump into it, I want you guys to tell everybody where they can find you. So Crawler, where can people connect? Oh, you just took a drink. Johnny, where can people connect?
I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Best spots are TikTok and Twitter, Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E.
Wait, chat says book for free. If you've never signed up for Audible, my book is you get your first book for free on Audible by going to n64josh.com/audible. That's if you've already signed up for Audible, though, it's not free. So I just want to make sure that's clear. So
for the audio listeners, I don't think you said the title.
Oh, it's called another. So that link, if you type that link in, takes you directly to the book. Like it. Even though it just says Audible, it takes you right to Another Castle. And then if you go to n64josh.com/Another Castle, that takes you to Amazon where you can get the book physically or read it on Kindle. So there you go. Good catch there. Good catch. Yeah, I see chat saying, wait, free? I do see that there's some audiobooks on Spotify that people do for free. And I got to figure out how to do that because and I could just put it up there as episodes of the podcast, but I'd like to have it congruent with chapters and everything. I just don't know how people are doing it, but I know there are some books there, so I need to look into it. Johnny, did I say you yet? Did you say where people can find you?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
I'm Johnny Bo everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Communication Air Podcast.
And Cheesy.
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube. The Communication Error Podcast, CheezyC64, CheezyC64.
There you go. And guys, I'm N64Josh everywhere. Do connect and plan on a lot more Mario Kart content. I've been down a rabbit hole with this game, and so be ready. We're gonna have some fun with Mario Kart as we get prepared for the next game, which we can jump into that rumor real quick if we want. Crawler, you found a YouTube video today that had a link to a blog. Mm-hmm. That blog said something about 2025 it's all leaks and rumors. It's all grain of salt right now, right? Like any little nuggets from this blog. It's such a random blog. It's like a blogger blog post.
I think it's an established leaker, right? I mean, and leakers
aren't they right, all?
They're right. What? The 50% of the time it works every time, right?
Yeah.
But it's pretty much just saying that the 10th installment, quote unquote, it's so pretty much solidifying that Mario Kart Tour is officially recognized by Nintendo. Well, unofficially, officially recognized because this is whatever it is. Mario Kart Tour is Mario Kart 9. So that it will come out, Mario Kart 10 will come out in 2025 in the Switch 2's second year on the market. So that's also a small nod to the fact that we're going to potentially get Switch successor next year, which I think we're all kind of leaning into anyway. It will be released sometime before the system's second holiday on the market. So that means we're flirting with anywhere between August and November, I would say, right? That's also a little bit of time to wait, I would say, as well. But I mean, they might.
Well, we're gonna get Mario Kart 8
find a way to get Mario Kart 8 on the Switch too.
Yeah.
Again, sparing no expense on this game. Most expensive game Nintendo's ever put into production. There's also said to be a 3D Mario title dropping that looks better than ever. Who knows if that? I would think that would be the killer app on launch day for the Switch 2. that would make sense, right? Because the success that they had with Breath of the Wild being the game to have on, kind of the only game besides 1-2 Switch, right, on launch day.
And snipper
They
clips.
had-
Everyone forgets snipper
Yeah,
clips,
well,
and I'm
yeah.
so sick of it.
You can't have that Can you have that physically in your hand? I don't. Did they
I
have
think
that
you
physical?
can. They
You
didn't
can
they
now.
do
I have
a
it. Yeah.
DLC
Okay.
for it? Yeah.
DLC and a physical.
2025 is shaping to be a massive year for the Mario franchise in general. Nintendo's making extensive plans for the franchise's 40th anniversary. Hallelujah! If that's actually the case, like, because they've done, let's say it, a poor job with the anniversaries that have come and gone in the last couple of years. Zelda 35 was non-existent. Mario 35 was a set of pins and a game that was on the eShop for 6 months, and then a 3D collection that was missing one of the 4 pillars of the 3D franchise, and then ripped from the shelves and made illegal to sell in Target and Best Buy and everything, right?
And don't forget the Game & Watches.
Oh, yeah. I have them sitting right there
I
collecting
mean, I
dust.
don't think it was that bad. Isn't that when we also got the announcement for Mario Kart Home Circuit or whatever that's called? What is that called?
Yeah, Mario Kart Home Circuit.
Yeah, and then there was
you can probably pick that up.
You don't even know
tomorrow
what it's
for
called, and you're like,
$60.
oh, I don't think it was that bad.
Well, no, I mean
Can't
they had
even
that.
remember
They
what
also they also had the Splatoon Splatfest. That was the Super Mushroom versus the Superstar.
I have the shirt. I have the Superstar shirt, even though I would have gone Mushroom. I just wanted a black T-shirt.
The shirts were good.
Yeah,
and I think they're still on sale, right?
maybe. I don't know.
Well, for Mario 40th, they're gonna do Mario 40. They're just gonna add 5 more
We're gonna
players,
add 5 slots to the.
and then it's gonna be Super. What's it called? Mario 3D All Stars with
2?
Galaxy 2.
Just
and
Galaxy 2.
It'll be
Big
Odyssey,
plans.
and Galaxy 2, and 3D World and Bowser's Fury. Hey, it's a full package. that seems like a full package. Crawler has taken over. He's like, I'm taking over. I'm taking over the show. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't know about you guys, but I'm and we've talked about it, but I think Mario Kart is a launch title with the next Switch that comes out on the original Switch also. I assume they either double dip or they put 8 on the next Switch right off the bat and it has crossplay.
I mean, I think backwards compat is going to be a thing, and we're not going to hopefully have to worry about that.
Well, but I'm saying like all the levels and $60 all the levels, and I mean, I don't 4K, I guess, if that's the docked, if that's the way it goes. I don't know. I can't.
I think people would riot if they would have to buy Mario Kart 8 again.
I'm surprised Sony is getting away with what they're doing.
They're not really getting away with it. People are not happy with that, even though it's only a $10 upgrade.
Well, and that's a 3-year-old game. It's like, why are they remastering a 3-year-old game? And other
because the
games
TV
as well.
show.
Yeah, well, it's just they're just a stark difference from what Xbox is doing, which is just like you own it and it's playable, and it's delivered in its best fashion. I think Nintendo was the originator on that before Sony did it, and we all had to. Do we have to pay $1 per title that we moved over,
or was it just $1.50?
Was it per game that you needed to move over?
Yeah, it was per game. It was per game.
Yeah, I mean, and that pretty much just turned your Wii into a GameCube, because it made your Wii not a Wii anymore. It didn't make sense to play on your Wii anymore.
I recorded.
They also made us
on my Wii, not my GameCube, because I have HDMI out.
Yeah.
They also charge us for all those deluxe editions. I just don't. I don't think they could do it again. I don't.
Yeah.
Too
I mean,
many people-
wait. Are we talking about like all deluxes? Like we're saying that there's not going to be any deluxes on the Switch too? Because I would love that. I feel like that's what I've been saying, and you guys are saying that we are going to continue to get deluxes moving
Yeah,
forward.
but I don't think they could charge $60 or $70 each. I think that maybe they do a $10 upgrade.
Josh, did you learn that you don't need to jump on the Goombas?
I just, even though I knew I didn't have to, I just wanted to. I was like, just work. Just give me the. I was like, in some RPGs, when you
I know I
initiate the
did
attack,
that
Yeah, you get
a
like
little
an
bit.
advantage.
You get an advantage going into the battle.
Yeah.
I respect that.
But
and
no,
thought
I do think
thought I
that
read
we'll.
it, but then I didn't.
I
Realize
do think
didn't
that
read
we'll see
anything.
deluxe versions, but I'd be surprised if they charge $60-$70 each.
Well, and were we talking last week about Splatoon, or was that Josh in a video? I don't remember. Splatoon 3 getting the deluxe treatment. Was that you, or is that you, Johnny, on Communication Error? I've listened to podcasts.
Might have been
Too much this
Stealth,
week.
actually. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, Stealth did mention that. I was kind of confused as to what would get the deluxe version of that. Like what would be included.
The DLC.
But the DLC, well, I guess it's a $25 DLC right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you guys were like, before you even mentioned Splatoon, I was thinking Splatoon and thinking, what about a Splatoon trilogy that had all 3 games, online working for all 3 games? Like,
would that hurt the player base?
I think the direction that they're headed with the DLC is that you will be essentially playing like all 3 versions. There are different weapons, but they are bringing back a lot of the same maps that they had in 1 and 2, plus some new maps. It might be a little bit of a different way of playing, but everything is faster in Splatoon 3 that going back to Splatoon 1 is totally different. So I think that it's a better experience when they add the DLC. Most likely, I'm guessing when you beat the DLC, you'll be able to go to Inkopolis Square, which was the setting for Splatoon 2.
okay.
And then we'll have all 3 settings.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I was just, I mean, it would more be exactly like what you're saying, like assuming not like 3 separate games that everybody like jumps into one, but like they kind of cross over.
Turn it into the mess that Call of Duty has become right now.
Well, or not only that, but
just have one launcher.
Just one launcher, and
well,
I saw a clip of Dr. Disrespect trying to play the campaign early, and he couldn't. It like the game just wouldn't launch it. It's such a mess. Like that whole platform, and it's 160 gigs to download for that launcher because everything's just in there. It's a mess. I hope more stuff stays away from that.
The thing that the direction I was kind of thinking possibly would be like the Master Chief Collection, you know, where it's like you can select like I just want Splatoon 3 or I want all 3 games, and when I jump in it kind of
too bad Nintendo tells you what you're going to play in Splatoon, and you're happy about it
for sure.
Turned off.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know, just thinking out loud for the sake of conversation, but just like, who knows? Maybe we'll get ARMS Deluxe. You know, Nintendo's coming into this system in a completely different. They had to say, look, we have to build this ourselves. Like we can't count on third parties. You know,
well, how many games are done and sitting waiting
right now? I mean,
yeah.
If you think about some of the delays, what did that do to some of these games right now? Like Animal Crossing was delayed, like for, you know, I think longer than what they were anticipating. So did that push the release of everything essentially? And then some of it got pushed right into the next system, possibly, you know, I don't know. Maybe that's why some of these games are coming out so much later, but we know that with Wonder, they said there was no, like, they didn't have a deadline. It was done when it was done. So I don't know if that's if that would be the case or not, but I know when delays end up showing up, it can be, and I mean, and there was a Metroid, Metroid Prime 4. Like
Where is it?
That's one of the craziest ones, to see.
And we know Prime 2 and 3 is probably locked and loaded, ready to go sometime.
Yeah, and then we got that. There's still a rumor that we're getting a Zelda title before the end of the year. Like, they better hurry.
I mean, when would they announce that?
Twitter.
That's. I mean, I'm. That's what I'm saying too. When, like, what are they? But I mean, they could just do a micro direct or something, and that would get a bunch of hype.
Yeah, available now.
Black
Wind
Friday's
Waker
tomorrow,
HD and
so-
Twilight Princess available now, and physical coming January next year.
Oh,
I mean,
Pay another $60.
Yeah, I mean,
Wonder how that would go over.
How well did how many people double dipped on Prime? I mean, I did. Josh did.
Not a lot. Not a lot of people even bought that game.
I triple dipped on it. I have 2 physicals because I was afraid it was hard to find when it came out, so I ordered it in 2 places. So don't judge me. Don't judge me. Maybe I should do a giveaway. And I didn't.
How did that sell, Johnny? Did it not sell that well?
It sold like 1 million, maybe.
1 million for a 20-year-old game is pretty good.
I don't know. When Wind Waker HD comes out, it will sell like 6-7 million.
I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a 14-year-old game that sold 50 million. So
57 million.
That's not even including what it sold on the Wii U. So
if they do announce,
it couldn't have sold over 13 million copies on the Wii U. So
yeah,
if they do announce a Wind Waker HD like right after this whole Last of Us Part 2 debacle, like, are people gonna be happy to spend another $60 on Wind Waker?
Hey, Nintendo fans won't mind. They bought Splatoon 3, and it's just an HD remake of 2.
Hey.
And then Splatoon 2 was an HD remake of Splatoon 1.
Hey. No, but I mean, even as you were saying that, Cheesy, like, you're like, yeah, they're bringing back everything, and it's like, are we getting duped here? Like, at some point, I'm like, is that like Cheesy? You love the series.
I do.
Do you feel like, I've never really thought, like, I'm like, no, I think there's enough here, but like, as you've played enough of 3, I can't figure out why 3 didn't pull me in like 2 did. And I don't think it has anything to do with the game. I think it has to do with the amount of time I spend streaming. I used to stream probably 40 hours a week or more. So it was like, I was always looking for games to play. So, do you find it like, do you wish there was more to it, or are you pretty pleased with it even at this late in the game?
I mean, I always wish that there's more, but I think with what we have gotten, it's interesting because we're always talking about Nintendo having a live service game, and we've talked about it before. Splatoon is kind of the closest thing that we have to a Nintendo live service. Like, they are slowly drip feeding content, and when they do, it is a lot, but it is also a grind. But the way that I guess I've gotten used to the Splatoon series over time, and I don't know if it's right to buy it out of the gate and say it's a completed game. Like, it is a completed game for what it was that they were launching, but they're going to release more over time. And then the DLC comes out. And honestly, Splatoon 2 with Octo expansion, I think, is what makes Splatoon 2. So when Side Order comes out and it's a new roguelike experience, that is what's going to make Splatoon 3. Because, yeah, you're right. There is a lot that is the same. It's an online shooter. And I feel like that is kind of what online shooters are. Like, if it works so well the first time, why are you going to try to change it up and make it something completely different? Right? Like, you are going to get some new things, but it's still going to be the same coat of ink that the last game was.
Yeah, but the other shooters add like game modes.
No, okay, so I agree. I think it is very weird that Splatoon 3 doesn't have a new mode, doesn't have a way to choose the mode that you want to play, or even vote on maps the same way that you can with like F-Zero in the courses that you choose. So there are still things that they could integrate. but there have been a lot of quality of life changes as well. Like we were playing Big Run, or no, it was Extra Work. It was a salmon run mode a couple weeks ago. And I totally forgot that throwing the eggs is something completely new in Splatoon 3. And I can't imagine going back and not being able to do that in Salmon Run.
I just wish the weapon grind wasn't as much of a grind. Like I'd like to, like, I feel like you have to find a weapon that works and you kind of just stick with it, and you don't get to experiment with having just easy access to all the weapons there, because it's such a grind to get a ticket. And then if you end up not liking that weapon, then you're kind of just wasted however many hours it takes to level up the level.
I just wish they had challenges like we were
like
playing
Call of Duty gun challenges do.
Oh yeah, that. And then like we were playing Fortnite last night, and it was just like destroy toilets.
Yeah.
Like just something silly like that, but it'll allow you to level up your because that the season pass or whatever they call it, it forces you to have to play every day if you want to like
get the
your
bonuses
win every day. Yeah. And it's just like I don't want to do that.
Watching Josh's RPG gameplay just tells me that he did not read the instructions for how to active block.
Yeah, there's no blocking in here.
not in the beginning. I like the way Halo does it, where it's like I can knock everything out in my weeklies in like one afternoon.
Yeah, I'm on my last 2 challenges for my weekly, and I played like an hour and a half this afternoon.
Yeah, and it makes me kind of wonder too if with the new catalog that's coming out, there are a lot of repeats. So that either means that Nintendo is just like done creating new gear, and that's just the life cycle of Splatoon 3, I guess, until we get the DLC. Like there still is new gear, but half of it is repeated.
Are they giving another you a part of me then if you already have it unlocked?
Yeah, you get like coins. They'll like reimburse you with coins. But if you don't have that gear, maybe it is good that it's repeated gear because it allows players to get the things that they're missing out on that they missed in the previous catalog.
They should just do what Halo does. Allow you to work on any season pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I finished the free season pass in Halo in the first week. I got the 20 levels of the free one, and I'm level 80 in one of my old ones now, and I think I'm up to like 90 now after today. And so I'm going to finish that season pass, and then I'm like level 43 in another one that I didn't finish. So I can grind it out and get that done, which is nice.
Yeah, I think Splatoon is going to be a big IP for them moving forward. If they could get a Splatoon like in the first year of the Switch 2, like that'll probably be big for the series.
It came out 2022, and they're saying this leak is saying that it's going to come out in 2025. The new Switch.
No, Switch is coming out next year.
The Mario Kart 8 or Mario Kart X
10
is coming out in 25. But
it's in the second year of the Switch.
Well, I mean, we have to think that team is working on Animal Crossing, right? Or maybe the team has expanded so much that they have their own Animal Crossing team and Splatoon team.
Animal Crossing's dead. They're not supporting that.
Yeah, it's dead.
That IP's dead.
And Splatoon and Mario Kart was also being co-developed with Bandai Namco. I don't know how much,
according to that article.
Yeah. But it wasn't 8 done by Bandai Namco as well.
8 Deluxe. I know Retro helped with a little bit of it. I'm not sure. I want to say Bandai had a little bit to do with it. I just don't remember off the top of my head. But I mean, we know that there was there's Bandai and Nintendo have essentially a studio being put together right now is kind of like they seem to have a lot in the works. So
Because they're probably
like,
helping with the next Smash Brothers as well.
I mean, based on what Sakurai is saying, it doesn't seem like it's even being worked on
That's
right
one
now.
game
He's
I
a
would want.
liar.
That's one game I would want an ultimate version of. And if they find a way to,
We already have an ultimate version of Ultimate.
A deluxe
But it-
version of Ultimate with rollback.
but yeah, with better netcode and with the possibility of another expansion to the roster. After playing RPG, I think Cheesy's in this camp as well, but I can get behind the Geno for Smash movement.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I get it. This is my first time playing Super Mario RPG. I never understood why so many people wanted Geno in Smash. But seeing him in this game, like I get it, and I want to see it happen.
And more than just a Mii fighter, because Mii fighters are crap.
We're never getting Geno. We're never getting Waluigi. Get over it.
Ooh. Ooh, never.
We're getting Malo. Give me Malo.
Malo. Oh, yeah, it's just like Walmart Kirby. That's exactly what we need.
I think just going back to deluxe, it doesn't make sense to me to have more deluxe games. Sure, money, but what they were dealing with was the Wii U. And not a lot of people bought games on the Wii U, so that's why they made a deluxe version of those games.
Mhm.
Why would they need to do that again for Switch 2 when
To sell it?
most people have already played those games? No,
Backwards
then
compat
you're just
will
repeating
backwards compat
yourself.
will sell it if it's done right, and then killer apps like a new Mario 3D will sell it. There's 137. Is that what the install base is? 137. Something.
Yeah,
like that?
but we have established.
We've
that we
established
each
it's
have
only 60 million
6.
people.
Take a drink.
It's only 60 million because there's only 3 million people that own a Switch that don't have Mario Kart. And if you don't have Mario Kart, what are you doing? Get Mario Kart.
Well, they've stopped buying it because it dropped out of the top 20 for the first
Yeah, it's
time
out
in
of the top
78
20.
months.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, in the US anyway. And it dropped to 11, I believe, in the UK. So out of the top 10 after the last DLC, which is strange because it was like within the same week, like almost within the same week of it coming out. You're like, wait, why? How come that didn't boost it? You know, but it didn't. So I don't know. It was interesting. I think, Cheesy, to kind of answer your question too, like it's gonna depend on third parties and what like if Nintendo. I think Nintendo looked at the massive success of the first year of the Switch, and they know that was on them. Steep never came out, right? Like we had what Skyrim came out,
Which is still $60.
Still, yeah, it's on sale right now if you want the anniversary
Is it?
version. Yeah,
Doom was pretty early.
Doom was early,
But that was a mud
And-
show.
and Wolfenstein was pretty early, but I don't think they were first. I don't believe they were first year off the top of my head, and they knew that they needed to feed us software because if you guys remember, the Wii U is exactly how the PlayStation 5 is right now, and it was a ghost town. Like I remember when they delayed Pikmin 3, and it was like we literally have nothing to play on this machine. Like it was, and it was because they were
delayed-
getting ready.
I remember Rayman Legends got delayed, and they like had this challenge mode that I played for 6 months because there was nothing else on the system.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was playing so much Amiibo Festival, it was unbelievable. Like,
No, you weren't.
Oh yeah, I mean we might
anything
get
else.
deluxe versions. We might get deluxe versions of Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival and Star Fox Zero, and the real
Star
hidden
Fox
gems.
Zero. God.
Star Fox Guard as well.
Yoshi's
Yeah.
Woolly World.
And that big giant robot game or whatever it was called.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys have like went to town on RPG. Crawler beat it. Johnny, did you beat it?
No, I'm I have like 3 out of 8 stars.
Johnny fell into some.
Yeah,
symbiote
I got a better system to play with right now. It's a much more solid system than the Nintendo Switch, and it's more appealing.
He spent $200, and now he actually wants to play on his $500 system.
Yeah, I got the PlayStation Portal, and I've been playing Spider-Man. So
his $500 machine just runs downstairs while he's sitting upstairs playing on a $200 machine.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
like I have a chair right next to me.
Machine. You have a $400 machine, right? Because you have the digital only, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot that was cheaper.
Not anymore, because they're gonna charge you for the stand now.
Yeah, sometimes like I'm sitting here, there's a chair like right there, my PlayStation's right here, and I use the portal over in the chair.
Do you ever get TV on or something?
Yeah. I usually have like Sports Center on in the background or something.
Yeah, but he can't play with headphones because Sony didn't bake.
Well,
Bluetooth.
you can play with wired headphones.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I mean I'm like, I don't know, 3 stars into this game.
Okay.
Cheesy's 5 stars in, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 5.
And I'm just an hour in, and honestly, like I adore it. Like it feels so nostalgic, but also so fresh, just with the art style and everything. And yeah, there's so much.
We were also proud of you though that you had it and it was out of the cellophane.
Yeah,
and it was in your system.
It is, and I put up an hour of footage on YouTube. I've been doing just hour-long sessions for other content creators that maybe don't have capture cards, but they want to start, maybe just doing voiceover with gameplay or something. So if that happens to be you, head on over to my YouTube. I got a playlist that just says royalty free, and you guys are welcome to screen record and use the footage, or it's the footage that we have playing right here on our show. If you just need something for B-roll, like go download it, screen record it, whatever the case may be, and please use it. So I can't wait to get back. I'm carving out time for this game over these next 4 days. Like I'm off the next 4 days from the regular gig anyway. I'll still be working the all my other projects, but I really want to try to relax a little bit. I'm going on probably close to like 5 or 6 months of like going really hard. So this is the game, like this or Tears of the Kingdom, something I really want to get lost in a game. And I know this one's like bite sized enough that like 12, 13 hours and you can get all the way through it. And
yeah, I beat it in 13 hours and 14 minutes is what I beat it in.
The only thing I wish this had, I wish you could switch between the old graphics and the new. Like I would love that. Like the Halo Master Chief or Halo Anniversary, you could do that kind of thing.
And it has me digging out my SNES Classic because I wanna go experience the original at this point and see if there are any changes or if it was just straight visual.
Yeah, it's such
the Yoshi races are crap. That
oh
is
my god, yeah,
a horrible system built into this game.
I've skipped those. I don't know what you guys are talking about. You said that it's early on in the game, and I must have.
It is early on the game.
It's after like the second star, I think. It's a
pipe.
Is it a hidden path or something? I don't know.
You have to go through that pipe thing.
Yeah, I missed that.
Cryptic's talking about optional bosses. There were a few question marks on my like
spoilers.
I didn't know there were questionable. I maybe I did some. I don't know, but like there might be some stuff I have to go back and find. My game has been hijacked by my children, and I think all 3 of them have started a playthrough, and they've been enjoying it.
Yeah, I think this is a great game. Josh, you were saying you have nostalgia for it. Like I said earlier, this is my first time playing it, and I agree. It feels fresh, and it feels like a Mario game that we have been missing for a really long time, or like they have moved away from, and that's so sad to me. This game has so much charm. It has so many like original characters that are just wacky and things that you just don't see in Mario games anymore. And I think Wonder kind of got back to that originality of like what not to expect with certain enemies or level design. But this, like, I love the way it looks. I love the writing in it. Everybody has these like personalities, and you want to talk to everyone. It just makes the world feel lived in, and I'm missing that. So I'm glad that like what Cryptic is saying, we're getting Mario Thousand Year Door. That's kind of the same thing. So it will be nice to return to what Mario was, and it's kind of sad to see how they've moved away from that.
I think part of the charm of RPG is Square. I think Nintendo was like, have at it. You know what I mean? And they did their thing back in the 90s, right? It was just like, you know, that giant sword that comes landing in with a face and everything. Like, these characters are all I assume from the minds of Square, because Nintendo just said, "Here, use the IP, and we'll see what happens." And I think it's like it's one of those collaborations where it's just like, "Yo, this really worked." And I think, I mean, if you think, you know, we've been talking a little bit about like Geno and Smash and everything, and there's a reason for it, you know, like it really hit home with people. They really enjoyed this game, and I like Nate is saying new. Like, yeah, I'm ready. They have all these assets. They better make a sequel, and like give us some of those characters again. Like, make it if they can make it, you know, if they can catch lightning in a bottle twice, it would be amazing. And I really hope they do. Like, just like we're getting Prime and probably the entire trilogy for Metroid, give us the sequel for RPG, but starting with this one first. You know, at the end of the Switch's life cycle, where it's starting to probably hit the decline or whatever, and phase out. Get as soon as they can, tease the sequel to this one, because I hope the sale numbers are great. I hope everybody was picking this up, because it. I don't know how they were able to capture what feels like a Mario game in an RPG so well, but they did. And even some of the stuff that I shy away from when it comes to like RPGs, like, oh, I got to switch weapons and I've got to switch items and outfits and all that kind of stuff. Like, nah, it doesn't really matter. And I want to know what Mario found of Peaches in that corner, by the way. Like, the internet was having too much fun with that. So, I
mean, where else is she gonna put them? There's no drawers there. Like, what? It's just a bed in the middle of a room.
Her umbrellas? I don't know. That's a good question. Like, yeah, very
Mario's
very
on his initiation for a fraternity, and he's on a. I won't say it.
No, he's not. He's not.
I think the writing in this game is pretty funny, actually. And I don't think Nintendo has that kind of writing ability. I'm pretty sure that was Square.
And Mario doesn't technically speak. He just like pantomimes by changing into the characters and.
Mm-hmm. And like, I kid you not, you know, Johnny, you said it's pretty. Like, I was laughing, like literally laughing out loud at some of this stuff in this game. It was just like, I just kind of sat back in my chair, kicked my feet out, and just had a really good time. Like, you don't have to lean forward with this. You don't have to. In my case, you don't even have to read, and you don't realize that you can't do certain moves. I mean, it wouldn't be an RPG if I didn't skip something.
You will need to read in some area. There was a few frustrating sections, I think, that they could have given you a little bit more instructions, or at least like, I went back through to get into my journal to try to find some notes on it, and it's only like the big items, and there's the whole thing. Like, there's a few things. I have like some notes on a sticky note here at my desk, because there's some stuff that are off screen that they tell you kind of how to solve a puzzle, and you need to like write it down. And the most confusing one I think is in the sunken ship, where it kind of gives you clues as to how to solve. It's a word that you have to spell with these puzzle these letters in blocks, and I was looking for like a reminder spot of clues I had found already, and there wasn't anything there. So I ended up having to go onto the internet just to look for the previous clues that I'd already solved, but I just wanted to refresh what it was to be able to solve that puzzle.
I think in the end, like it is still an SNES game. So
From the 90s were challenging.
Yeah, it doesn't
sometimes.
coddle you as much as games do now. So I mean that's kind of nice. Like that's what I liked about the Link's Awakening remake. Like they kept that. There's not really any hand holding.
And the camera perspective, Cheesy, you're coming up on this spot to get up, or you might have already done it to get up to the Nimbus Kingdom.
I'm so glad you mentioned
so
that.
Annoying.
There's
so annoying.
No spoilers.
There's beanstalks that you got to climb up, and trying to jump diagonally, you don't know if it's forward or backward or straight on, and it's horrific.
It's bad.
Yeah. And I'm not looking forward to when I try to redo that on just a D-pad. I think that's going to be bad, but I don't know.
I've been playing this with my Super Nintendo controller, same as Wonder. That's how I've been enjoying these Super Nintendo remakes. So I've actually right now it's the beginning of a holiday like weekend, and I've already got Nintendo thumb. I played Wonder with my nephew for like, I don't know, probably a good 45 minutes to an hour. When I got to his house, I was like, "What's on your Christmas list this year?" And he was like, "Pokemon cards and Nerf guns." I was like, "No Switch games?" He's like, "Nah." I was like, "Okay." I brought Wonder, plays it. Okay, can we add Wonder to my Christmas list?
Good. Or no, you have. I was gonna say you have an extra copy of Prime. I was gonna say, good thing you have an extra copy, but you might actually have an extra copy sitting around your house, don't you?
I do, yeah. I do. I do. So, but these, like looking at some of the comments here, Cryptic mentioned that good writing still continues with Origami King. It was decent writing, but the classic gameplay is what fans want. Origami King had fantastic writing. I don't disagree.
The battle system just got tedious.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it. I did that interview with that guy on Monday, and we talked about it. How it was just like, there's so much potential to that game if they would just
the water.
With
look at the water.
Formula. Yeah, look at the water. But I mean, this formula
playing this
works.
game has me excited for Thousand Year Door to come back out because I didn't play it.
Same.
So
neither did I, and it gets me excited also. But I don't know. I understand that, taking risks and all that kind of stuff, but like, and I said it in that interview, I'm like, how did this pass? Like, how did everybody think that was a good idea? That battle
circle battle system.
Yeah, it's just
it got way too repetitive. After you did it once or twice, it was like.
And I think with this game, it's like a hammer changes up what you're doing, or you could throw some fireballs. Like there's not a ton of variety.
Well, it's traditional RPG turn-based battle with some real time skill based kind of options to increase damage or protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's some definitely difficult unblockable attacks that happen later in the game from some enemies, but where you kind of have to take in the strategy of timely healing and or items and special abilities to kind of focus attack and take out those enemies that are doing those unblockable attacks. But it's, as Stealth said on your guys's Communicationer show this last week, like, it's a good beginner RPG, and William is I think 4 or 5 stars in on this since picking it up, since I beat it this weekend, and he's kind of curious about some more RPGs. So we might be. I think I have Final Fantasy VII. I think the classic one on Switch that I downloaded on his stuff, and we might look at some other ones kind of coming up. But like, it's a good intro into the genre.
To baby's first RPG.
Yep.
I love
Well,
it.
I mean, Pokemon's kind of that, but
Right,
Pokemon hasn't changed their formula, which is kind of depressing.
I was thinking about it's weird that we're not getting Pokemon, I guess, game or content right now, because usually
Here we are.
Well,
but nobody's playing it.
The DLC comes out in December.
yeah, in December, but like around this time when it's Thanksgiving, I feel like I'm usually playing a Pokemon game. Like that's what I do after I'm done eating.
Because people
I
didn't
play a new
stop playing the
game.
Pokemon game. That's the thing. This year, it didn't hold people's attention. Performance issues and technical problems and just visual fidelity, and kind of, I think maybe we're finally getting burned out on the same. They changed it up this time, which was kind of nice, but like it's the same kind of thing. Go around, get six or 8 badges or whatever, and then go run the gauntlet of the Final Four or the Elite Four.
And people are mad about The Last of Us. I want to catch Nate's comment here talking just about RPG. He says I think the darkness and the sprites were the huge draw for the game on the SNES, and that he kind of wishes it wasn't just a 1-to-1 remake. And again, I don't mind it being the 1-to-1 remake, but I really do hope they use these assets for a new game, like and give it to the team that's doing Octopath Traveler or something, because
you can just walk on those.
Yeah, I thought you had to jump.
Well, I thought I was stuck right here because I'm like, how am I getting back up there? And then they look like they're the same height as these cliffs that I couldn't jump on. And then you can
perspective in this game is rough.
There's a secret in that section, and I spent so much time looking for it, I could not find it. Oh, really? I had like the secret finder on. And it's like there's a secret in this area.
I did not use that yet. I need to probably put that on and go try to find stuff.
And I spent so much time trying to find it. Also, Josh, do you know that Malo is like the mage?
He's your healer.
No,
like, I don't think you've used magic yet.
and he can do lightning attacks on all the enemies at once, which is nice.
That I used a couple times, and it was awesome. Like I liked that a lot.
I will say, like, I'm curious to get into this full game, and I think the old game, but like the random stuff, like once again, like you get to attack again, or randomly enemies sometimes pop out an HP, max HP, kind of refill your health. There's also the lucky one where you get to either double your experience or double your coins and play the shell game with Yoshi, which is I think I only lost maybe once because I wasn't paying attention one time, but it's a fun.
I know the
this whole game is fun.
Triple attack is new, but I don't know about anything else.
Oh, the meter that's new?
I think so.
Like I said, I'm gonna boot it up and try to figure it out, but I just want to see the original.
Imagine doing that triple attack in pixel art.
Yeah, it'd probably break the game.
Well,
I was wondering though, when I was playing this game, Miyamoto, when he was talking to the Kingdom Battle team, he said Mario cannot jump. Mario's jumping all over the place in this game. So what made him decide that Mario can't jump anymore if he's not making it?
I don't know if he had the same pole back in the 90s as he does now.
Why can't Mario jump? His original name was Jumpman.
Did you see that the delayed game quote might actually not be his?
What delayed game quote?
Like a delayed game is good eventually, but a bad game is bad forever or something. Apparently that wasn't Miyamoto.
I thought that was never him. I thought that was something that the internet made up.
I remember it being Miyamoto, but like hearing that it was, but I mean, There was something else I just saw recently that may not have been. That was the same thing. I was like, my whole life is a lie. Like, I don't. How do we handle these things? I don't even know. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about Ocarina of Time. It's the 25th anniversary of that game. Um, I I I have very few photographs of me with like my games as a kid, and that's like one of the ones that I have. And so I posted it up on Instagram, made a TikTok about it and stuff. And it it was seriously a magical game. Even just firing it up and listening to the opening of that game, I'm like, I loved it, and I spent about 30 minutes. I want to get another 30-minute session with it at least to get that hour of gameplay. But um like, it was it was one of those things, like, if you didn't play it when it came out, there are certain games that it's like they don't have the, to go back to them now, they don't quite have that magic, right? Like, you automatically are going to compare it to something else. Like, if you just go back to Ocarina, but then you go and play, like Johnny's favorite Skyward Sword or Wind Waker or something like that, it's like they built upon what was there, right? So when you go back to it, it's like, oh, there's not as much here as, but that, I remember moments like fighting those bosses just seemed so massive. Like, even in that first stage, like in the Deku tree or whatever, that was so incredible at that time. Like, we didn't see a lot of stuff like that where you had to jump from way up high and then
fall all the way through the tree
and through that web and everything. Like, I don't, there was so, and as I got back into it, I was like, man, I could sit and play this for hours and just kind of lose myself in it. And the different aspects of that game, where sometimes you were like sneaking around and trying not to get seen by guards, or playing different songs and riding the horse around, and just like, I don't know, it felt like such an epic adventure at the time. And so I know some of you guys probably played it right when it came out, and then it may have been something that you guys, some of you might have played a little bit later on in life, or maybe still haven't played. But like, Crawler, kick us off. Like, I know you spent some time with that game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's rough to go back to a 64 game, and so I think that game, with how massive an undertaking it is, like with just the amount that you do as Kid Link and then the amount that you do as Adult Link, like it's almost like two separate games in one. And so having that game get a proper kind of, I mean, I know we've talked about games getting remastered or redone, and kind of it's a little much, but like I feel like this game would benefit from the engine kind of,
really.
yeah, making life. At the very least, Josh said take the 3DS version, which is arguably a little bit better version, port it over and get to play that. But just it's such a massive game for what it was in that time, and I would like to see just a better experience to re-experience it.
Well, we've probably all seen the Unreal version that, like, periodically we see clips and stuff, and it's like seeing Hyrule Field, and just like in it, some of these games you go back to it and you're like, this is not what I remember, because it's
not as big as I thought. It's not as big as I thought it was.
Yeah, like our imagination almost fills in some of the gaps, right, in the memories and everything.
Yeah, Hyrule Field is not very big when you go back to it.
No, and it's relatively empty. Like not only is it small in size, but there's not much to it. What Johnny, how about you? What much history with Ocarina?
I didn't play it until the 3DS.
Me too.
So I was older. And I thought that version was like fantastic. I love playing it, and I know. Well, I guess a bunch of other Zelda games came out between the original release and the 3DS release, right? So like there was Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and I mean I love Wind Waker, but I do think Ocarina of Time deserves to still be considered the best Zelda, one of the best Zelda games, and one of the best games ever made. It's just such a novel idea, the time travel aspect. The only thing that I think everybody can agree on is the water temple sucks. And if they were to remake it, just delete that. You just get the water gem, kind of like they did with
you just get given the hook shot and
yeah, just like they did with Wind Waker. They like cut out a dungeon and you just got whatever that item was going to be.
I like it.
But what if this is the game that's coming out this year? Maybe they're like the 25th anniversary. Here's the HD version of the 3DS game.
Because we don't need the second screen, right? The second screen just had the map and the inventory, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could take the DS version and just do it.
As long as it's not Skyward Sword again, I'm good.
Again, Skyward Sword again is the title.
Yeah, watch it make Skyward Sword Deluxe. Get out of here.
Cryptic has a good point. Cryptic has a good point because this was the start of Z targeting. Focus on the enemy that you're fighting, and you can strafe around them.
It felt so like it really did feel like, you know, he said it revolutionized, and that's what it felt like. It was like, what am I do? Like, it was such an advance. Like, it advanced the series so much further from like A Link to the Past, which was like incredible. It was incredible. And I've told this story 1,000 times with this game, and I'll tell it again real quick. But like, I was very specific with my girlfriend. Get this game, get the gold cart, right? I then found the receipt to make sure that it was the right one. And then after I opened it, I was like, I found the receipt for this just
to make sure.
I got in a little bit of trouble, but like I had to know that I was getting the gold one. I could not.
So you had to wait a month to play this game?
Yeah, I didn't have it right when it came out. So I was 17 at the time. What that photo doesn't show is that I had some other gifts around me. One of them was a stick of deodorant, which I was like, I wonder if they're trying to tell me something. And then also I was getting into golfing. So I was like this punk rock kid. My shirt said pro racial unity. Like, and then I had golf balls in front of me. I was like, it was
a hodgepodge of Christmas gifts.
Yeah. Such a strange time in my life. But, man, I remember losing myself to this. Cheesy, you played it the same as Johnny, huh, on 3DS?
Yeah, and so I mean that was a great experience for me. I think it would be kind of hard to go back to N64 because even having it online, and when it did, I know people weren't too happy with the ROM, and so I didn't even bother giving it a shot. But I loved it on the 3DS, and it also made me realize why Zelda turns into Sheik, because when I was playing, Melee, I never understood why that would happen. And then when I played Ocarina of Time, I'm like, I get it. But yeah, I mean, it's incredible what they were able to do for Zelda, and how it was, that top-down game, to turn it into something that, like you said earlier, really lets your imagination go and lets you travel this world, and like you're in your own backyard, right? Like that's the point of playing as Link anyway, is that you're just having fun in your backyard, discovering what could be.
I think that's the biggest aspect of it, is this. It gave you more of a feeling that you were out adventuring. not just
Mhm.
not just controlling the sprite on the screen, but like, I mean, even just climbing through that tunnel right there where it switches to first person. Like there were these tiny elements. I remember like feeling it in my stomach when I jumped from that tree and just being at that height, and it was like, this is wild. Like I've never experienced things like that before in a game, and all of a sudden, that's what's happening. And I I don't know. I loved it. I think like even seeing like a little bit later, after like the Deku tree and Hyrule Field, and I think the way the game's, no, it's the intro, right, where you see Ganon, and doesn't Link have that vision? It's like that dream, and then he wakes
Yeah,
up here.
where Impa's riding off with Zelda and Ganon's chasing.
There was just this like, there was a sense of just like, I'm not prepared for this yet. Like I don't know. They did such a great job just laying the foundation for the story and everything else, that it was like Ganondorf just seemed like this menace, and I loved it. I loved it. There was just, I would lose myself in this game. Like literally lose myself, just hours and hours and hours.
And
I think,
I would want to play it again, and if it could just play better.
yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, jumping in last night, I grabbed my 64, the 64 controller and the whole deal, and it was just like, I'm just like, I'm retro gaming right now, is really kind of what I told myself going into it, and
Yep.
it was nice. I had a good time with it. So, well, we're at the hour and 6-minute mark, and it is Big Apple, 2 a.m., not 3 a.m.
It's
for
2
Johnny,
a.m., it's not 3 a.m.
but close. We're getting close. So appreciate you guys. I see a lot of the regulars hanging out with us late. Cryptic, Nady Nay. You guys are the best. Thanks for being here. Anybody else that's just kind of lurking in the shadows, we appreciate you too. And if you're listening after the fact on Thanksgiving, if you celebrate whatever, happy Thanksgiving. And hope you guys have a good Black Friday, and you get all the sweet loot. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.